All right, good morning, guys. So I'm just going to do a quick little video for topic 2, SAS 2, for anybody who is not here or who wants to go back and look at it after class. So we are on page 27 in our workbook, and it is the inverse of a linear function. So we will go ahead and get started. So on the workbook, number 1, it says, suppose your cell phone plan charges a fixed rate of $10 per month. So I want you to circle fixed rate of $10 per month plus 7 cents per minute. And I want you to underline plus 7 cents per minute. It says to create a table that shows the relationship between the total number of minutes you might use each month, M, and your total monthly cell phone bill, which is T. So we're going to create a chart. And we will have an M and a T. M will be our minutes. T will be our total in dollars. All right, so 0 minutes. I don't go over any extra. I just stay the same. What is that fixed rate that I'm going to pay every month no matter what? $10. That's what we circled. Okay. Now, for every additional minute, it says it is going to cost 7 cents. So if I use 1 minute extra, it's going to cost me $10.07. If I use 2 minutes extra, it's going to cost me $10.14. And if I use 3 minutes, it's going to cost me $10.21. And that chart will just keep going and going. So you're basically counting by sevens on for each minute. Okay, 7 cents per minute. So now, if you click your check button on your computer, it will show you the same chart. Now, your next page, it wants us to write a function rule that models the situation. All right, so think back to whenever you first learned about linear functions. There was a type of form that you learned about that went with it. It was y equals mx plus b. What is that called? Yes, slope-intercept form. Okay, remember m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. All right, so it says write a function rule that models the situation in question 1. Well, our overall total is what we need to start with. So obviously that is going to be T equals. Now, if we're following by the slope-intercept form, we have mx plus b. All right? We just said that slope was m. So what is our slope? What's increasing every month? And by how much? The 7 cents times each minute plus, what's that y-intercept? What is that fixed rate? Our 10. Okay? So, it could also be written as T equals 0.07 m plus 10. Okay? So now we are going to use this function rule to answer number 3 and number 4. All right, so number 3 says, One function rule that models this situation is T equals 0.07 m plus 10, where m is the number of minutes and T is the total monthly bill. According to the function rule, what would your bill be if you talked 100 minutes? All right, so we have to figure out our total amount of our bill. So if we're looking for the total, we need to leave that spot open. T equals 0.07. How many minutes am I talking? 100 plus 10. Now, if we type that in or we solve that, we get 17. So our total amount is $17 for 100 minutes. Okay? Now, to answer number 4, it says using the same function rule, how many minutes did you talk if your bill totaled $31? So now we are solving for M, versus solving for T. So we're still using the same function rule. T equals 0.7 m plus 10, except this time we're plugging in $31. All right, so I'm going to swap screens. I'm going to move this to the top. 31 equals 0.07 m plus 10. All right, so we have got to get that m by itself. So the first thing I want to do is I want to subtract 10. All right, once I've subtracted 10, I get 21 equals 0.07 m. Now, I have to get rid of that 0.07, so what am I going to do? I'm going to divide on both sides. So, you divide that, you get 300 equals m. So, I can spend $31 for 300 minutes. All right, so now on the next page, page 28, number 5, 6, and 7, I want you to do on your own. It is just like numbers 1 through 4. It's just a different type of problem and different numbers. So you can pause the video now and do that. All right. Now we are going to move ahead to number 8. And this was talked about in the overview. So it says, here again is the table of values showing the original relationship in which t is a function of m. Can you complete the table showing the inverse relation? So a couple of things I want you to write. In our original chart, X is our minutes and Y is our total. Okay? I want you to jot down that X equals independent values and Y equals dependent values. So Y depends on X. And I want you to jot this down. Inverse equals swap the X and Y. And then I want you to box that. All right, that's what this whole topic is about, is swapping the X and the Y. That is what the inverse means. Okay, so it says to complete the table to show the inverse relation. All right, Well, in order to swap it, all I do is literally swap those values to the other side. So originally, these were our x and y values. However, when I switch them, our total becomes x and our y becomes minutes. Okay? So, this right here is our new chart. So watch what happens when I click check on all of these. Notice how your values just swap spots. That's all it does is swap spots. Don't forget, swap spots. Got it? No math is involved right here. Now, we are going to skip numbers 9 through 16. Okay? And we are going to jump straight ahead to the practice problems. So now you don't need your Agile mind anymore if you're following along. Okay? So, we're going to start with number 17. Below number 17, I want you to write to find inverse equals swap x and y, comma, then solve for y. Okay? So, we're going to start with this original function. Y equals 5x minus 10. All right, what I mean here by swapping the x and the y is literally swapping the x and the y. All I did was swap the spots. That's the first step. The second step is to then solve for that y. So, to solve for the y, we have a simple two-step equation. The first thing we're going to do is add 10 to both sides. These cancel, and we can go ahead and bring down that 5y. Now, let me ask you this. On that left-hand side, it says x plus 10. Can I combine those and say 10x? No, absolutely not. Because those are not like terms. They do not both have an x. So, all you do here is bring it down. X plus 10. There's nothing we can do. We cannot simplify it. We cannot combine it. We must just bring it straight down. Okay? So now, we have one more step to solve for y. To get rid of that 5, we must divide both sides by 5. And we are left with x plus 10 all over 5 equals y. We can break that up since that fraction bar is underneath x and 10 and say x over 5 plus 10 over 5. And I can break it down one more time and say x over 5 plus 2 equals y. Okay, so any of those are correct. Normally you will see this first one. The rest of them are just simplified. Okay. All right, number 18, we are going to do the same thing. Please keep in mind that f of x equals a y, okay? So we've got a function of y equals 2x plus 4. The first thing I must do is swap x and y. So, X equals 2y plus 4. Okay? Solve for y. Two-step equation. Subtract 4. We cannot combine x and 4, so we just simply bring it down. To get rid of that 2, we divide it on both sides. So we're left with x minus 4 over 2 equals y. And that is my inverse. All right, let's go ahead and jump to number 20, and then we will come back to number 19. All right, so number 20 says, find the inverse of y equals negative 3x plus 8. So the first step is to swap the x and the y. Okay, then we must solve for the y. Okay, so just like before, we've got to get y by itself. So we are going to first subtract 8 from both sides. Just like before, I cannot combine x and 8. So I simply bring it down. Okay, that's all I do. I bring it straight down. Now, to get rid of that negative 3, we must once again divide by both sides. So we are left with x minus 8 over negative 3 equals y. Now, here you do want to simplify. Okay? X over negative 3. Okay? Now, that 8 is negative and the 3 is negative. Two negatives make a positive. Okay? Now, one more thing. What's in front of that x, the number that I just don't have to write? It's 1. So, are these two equations the same? Yes, they are the same. Okay? Now, let's look at 21. 21's a little bit different. We've got finding the inverse of y equals 3 over 5x minus 12. So, first things first. X equals 3 over 5y minus 12. All right. Now, to get things started, we must add 12 to both sides. Well, x plus 12 is just x plus 12 equals 3 over 5y. All right, now, here we have a fraction of 3 over 5, okay? To get rid of that denominator, this is just simple math, guys. To get rid of that denominator, we must multiply by it on both sides. Okay, so now we've got 5x plus 12 equals 3y, because this 5 on the top cancels with the 5 on the bottom, so we're just left with that 3. So let's simplify. 5x plus 60, I distributed that 5, equals 3y. Divide both sides by 3. We've got 5 over 3x plus 20 equals y. I got 20 from 60 divided by 3. Okay? All right, now let's go back to number 19 and be sure you pay close attention because I'm going to change the directions up just a little bit. All right, so we are given f of x equals 100 plus 4x. And we are given 2 charts. All right, remember f of x equals y. G of x also equals y. So on the left, we've got negative 50, negative 25, 0, 25, and 50. Now, to get these y values, you are going to plug in the x's and get out the y's. Okay, so for this first one, you are plugging in 100 plus 4 times negative 50. For the next one, you are plugging in 100 plus 4 times negative 25. For the next one, 100 plus 4 times 0. 100 plus 4 times positive 25, and 100 plus 4 times 50. Once you plug all of those in, you get negative 100, 0, 100, 200, and 300. Okay? So, now, the second chart is the inverse. Flip back if you need to and look what we boxed. We boxed that said inverse equals swap x and y. So all I'm doing is swapping the place. Originally, x was negative 50, negative 25, 0, 25, and 50. The new x will be the old y. And the new y will be the old x. That is how you find the inverse using a table. Okay? Now, I want you to do the same thing on B. But I do not want you to do C. Do not do C, only B. So work B on your own the same way we just did A. All right. Have a great day.